that in a small town, secrets are rarely lost. They are simply paved over. In Watertown, that pavement is thick, and the secrets often carry the weight of authority. When you think of Watertown, Massachusetts, you may think of the Boston Marathon bombing of 2013. You may picture tactical vests, armored convoys, and the historic lockdown of 2013. But behind the polished press releases and the corporate gloss of biotech labs lies an uncomfortable, expensive truth. Accountability in local governance has a multi-million-dollar price tag. This investigative series is not a personal grievance. It is an audit of public trust. When a police department overlooks discrepancies in a public official's record, they aren't just making an administrative error. They are creating a vacancy in their own credibility and a danger to the public. To understand the Watertown Police Department, you have to understand its relationship with accountability. Specifically, you have to understand that accountability is expensive, extremely expensive. In late 2022, a Middlesex Superior Court jury delivered a devastating verdict against the town of Watertown in a landmark gender discrimination and retaliation suit brought by their first female detective, Kathleen Donahue.
WBZ and CBS News Boston. Watertown's first female police detective says she feels a little bit of closure tonight after being awarded a $4 million lawsuit against the town. This was a lawsuit for sex discrimination. There's a settlement in it.
There was a time that I was threatened to be spanked by a supervisor.
Detective Kathleen Donahue joined the Watertown Police Department in 1998, becoming the first female detective in 2002. For years, she put her life on the line, but the reality of her dream to protect and serve came crashing down when she began to receive inappropriate and demeaning comments.
There was even a time I was at Waltham District Court, and the supervisor was talking about, women's breasts and the differences between what women look like. And it continued for my whole career.
In 2016, she was forced to take a leave of absence for her mental health.
I felt like I had no choice.
The final straw rumors that started circulating about her shortly after the Boston Marathon bombings.
Do you feel comfortable sharing what those rumors were?
One of the rumors was that I was suicidal and that I was having sex with the chief at the time.
Rumors that were not true. In 2019, she filed a gender discrimination suit. Now, 3 years later, a jury has awarded her more than $3 million in back pay and another $1 million in punitive damages.
I can't imagine what that felt like for you, to finally feel like people heard you and had your back.
It was a good feeling.
The cost of losing women officers like Kathy Donahue because you can't get it right, because you can't get out of your own way, is high.
For Donahue, it's not about the money, but the change she hopes to see in police departments across the state.
The work environment needs to change. It needs to improve. They need to feel safe, and I didn't have that.
The jury didn't just find for Donahue. They hit the town with punitive damages. By the time post-trial interest and massive statutory attorney fee shifts were fully tallied, total liability to taxpayers climbed to between $4.6 and $5.7 million. To clear that debt without decimating standard operations, the Watertown City Council had to pass an emergency budget amendment, siphoning nearly $3.7 million directly out of the city's free cash reserve. For that price, Watertown could have funded community programs for a generation. Instead, they bought the right to defend institutional abuse.
I did also speak to the town's lawyer. He said while they are disappointed with the verdict, they don't feel that it represents the current professionalism and respect that the department has today for female officers.
And yet, even as they were settling that bill, command staff was busy preparing a welcoming committee for a brand new hire, a man with a gift for languages, and a paper trail that would make a used car salesman blush. To the uninitiated, his sprawling resume, booming fluency across multiple Romance and Semitic languages, suggested an intellectual outlier. But once you observe the phonetic tissue connecting them, the superhuman aspect dissolves into simple pattern recognition. It isn't magic, it's masonry. More importantly, beneath the glittering public relations profile lay a foundational discrepancy, a history of internal affairs investigations, a forced resignation from the Massachusetts State Police, and a domestic footprint stretching nearly 60 miles north into Manchester, New Hampshire. When an institution treats the public record as a liability rather than a trust, it enters a dangerous feedback loop. It begins to punish the observer rather than correct the flaw. But paperwork does not lie, property deeds do not forget, and public archives outlast any administration. Pay close attention to the details. This is the anatomy of a cover-up, and what happens when the system meets someone who refuses to look away. The record is open. Proceed accordingly. Stay tuned for episode 2.